They told my mother she'd never work again. They told her she'd be a burden. They were wrong. Because 6 months after she went blind, our German Shepherd got a job. And not just any job. He became the highest earning employee at Henderson's grocery store. This is the story of how a dog saved my mother's life and gave her back her dignity. My name is Emma. This is my mother, Catherine. Before the accident, Mom was unstoppable. She was a high school art teacher in Portland, Oregon. She could paint landscapes that made you feel like you were standing in them. She taught hundreds of kids to see the world differently. Mom was also a single parent. My dad left when I was 3. I don't even remember him. It was just Mom and me against the world. When I was 15, Mom brought home this tiny German Shepherd puppy. She found him abandoned behind her school, shivering in a cardboard box. She named him Apollo because, she said, he's going to be strong and beautiful just like the Greek god. Apollo wasn't just a pet, he became our family. When Mom graded papers late at night, Apollo slept at her feet. When I cried over my first heartbreak, Apollo rested his head in my lap. He was ours. We were his. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Mom's salary wasn't much, but we made it work. We were happy. Then everything changed. It was a Tuesday morning in March. Mom was driving to school. A delivery truck ran a red light. The crash was catastrophic. Mom survived, barely. Broken ribs, collapsed lung, fractured skull. But the worst damage? Her optic nerves. Completely severed. I'll never forget the doctor's words in the hospital. "I'm sorry, Catherine. The damage is permanent. You'll never see again." I watched my mother's face crumble, not from physical pain, from the realization that her entire life had just ended. She was 42 years old, completely blind, a single mother with a teenage daughter and no way to work. The disability checks started coming in, $1,100 a month. That barely covered rent. We had nothing left for food, utilities, medical supplies. Mom needed special equipment, medications, therapy. We were drowning. I tried to work part-time after school, but I was only 16. Minimum wage at a coffee shop wasn't enough. Mom fell into a deep depression. She'd sit in her room for hours, just silent. She couldn't paint anymore, couldn't teach, couldn't even walk to the bathroom without help. "I'm useless, Emma," she'd whisper. "I'm nothing but a burden to you." I'd cry myself to sleep hearing her say that. But Apollo never left her side. At first, Apollo was just there, lying next to Mom's bed, following her around the house. But then I noticed something strange. Apollo started guiding her without any training. He'd walk slightly ahead, pause at stairs, stop at obstacles. It was like he understood. I contacted a service dog organization. They evaluated Apollo. The trainer's eyes went wide. She said, "This dog has natural guide instincts I've never seen. We need to train him professionally." The training cost $5,000, money we absolutely did not have. I started a GoFundMe. Strangers donated. Teachers from Mom's old school donated. In 3 weeks, we had the money. Apollo spent 4 months in intensive training, guide work, mobility assistance, public behavior. When he came back, he wore a professional service vest. And my mother cried when Apollo guided her across the living room for the first time without bumping into anything. "I can move again," she whispered. "I'm not trapped anymore." For the first time in 8 months, I saw my mother smile. But we still had no money. Disability checks weren't enough. We were 3 months behind on rent. Eviction notices piled up. That's when the miracle happened. Mr. Henderson owned the grocery store 2 blocks from our apartment. He'd known our family for years. When Mom could still see, she'd shop there every week. One afternoon, I was walking Apollo past the store. Mr. Henderson was outside dealing with an agitated customer. The guy was yelling, getting aggressive. Apollo positioned himself between me and the man. Didn't bark, didn't growl, just stood there, calm, protective, authoritative. The aggressive customer immediately backed down. Mr. Henderson noticed. "Emma," he called after me, "can we talk?" He explained that his store had a problem. Shoplifters, aggressive customers, anxious shoppers with PTSD who had panic attacks in crowded aisles. Security guards were expensive and sometimes made things worse. "What if Apollo worked here?" he said slowly. I laughed. "Mr. Henderson, he's a service dog, not a—" "Hear me out. not as security, but as a customer service ambassador, a therapy presence, someone to greet customers, calm difficult situations, help anxious shoppers feel safe. He pulled out a proposal he'd written. I'll pay Apollo $1,800 a month. He works 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, morning shifts when it's busiest. You bring him, you supervise. He just exists, makes people feel good, makes them want to shop here. I stared at him. You're offering my dog a job? I'm offering your family a lifeline, he said quietly, and I'm betting Apollo will increase my sales. Win-win. I went home and told Mom. She didn't believe me at first. Then she started crying. A job? She whispered, her hand finding Apollo's head. He's going to work for us? We started the next week. I'll never forget Apollo's first day at Henderson's grocery. He wore his vest. I clipped his leash. Mom came with us. Mr. Henderson had installed a comfortable chair near the entrance where she could sit. Apollo took his position by the automatic doors. At first, customers were confused, then enchanted. Kids would run up. Mommy, look, a doggy. Apollo would sit perfectly still, letting them pet him gently. Parents smiled, took photos. Elderly customers who struggled with anxiety felt calmer just seeing him. One woman with PTSD from an assault told us she hadn't been able to grocery shop alone in 2 years. With Apollo there, she felt safe. Apollo had this gift. He could sense when someone was having a hard day. He'd walk over, sit at their feet, look up with those intelligent amber eyes. People would crouch down, bury their faces in his fur, and just breathe. The atmosphere of the store completely changed. Sales increased by 35% in the first month. Mr. Henderson couldn't believe it. Customers came specifically because of Apollo. They'd bring friends. You have to meet the dog at Henderson's. Local news did a story, The Working Dog Who Saved a Family. It went viral. Apollo became a local celebrity, but he didn't care about fame. Every day after his 4-hour shift, Apollo would guide Mom home. She'd feel the money envelope Mr. Henderson put in Apollo's vest pocket. $1,800 every single month. Between that and her disability check, we could pay rent, buy groceries, afford Mom's medications. For the first time in 2 years, we weren't drowning. But here's the thing people don't understand. It wasn't just about the money. My mother's entire identity had been destroyed when she lost her sight. She felt useless, worthless, a burden. Apollo gave that back to her. She'd sit in that chair at the store entrance, and customers would stop to talk to her. Your dog is amazing. He made my daughter's day. He helped my father who has dementia feel calm. My mother started smiling again, laughing, engaging with people. She wasn't just the blind woman, she was Apollo's mom. She had purpose again. One day, a customer asked her, "What do you do?" My mother straightened in her chair. "I manage the store's therapy ambassador. It's a very important position." She said it with such pride. I had to leave the store so she wouldn't hear me crying in the parking lot. Apollo worked at Henderson's for 5 years. 5 years of stability, 5 years of dignity for my mother, 5 years of proof that disability doesn't mean inability. Last year, Apollo retired. He's 9 now, slowing down a bit. Mr. Henderson threw him a retirement party. The whole neighborhood came. Kids made cards, customers brought gifts. My mother stood at the front of the store, her hand on Apollo's head, and gave a speech. When I lost my sight, I thought I lost everything. But Apollo didn't just give me my independence back. He gave me my dignity. He showed me that worth isn't about what you can see or what you can do. It's about love, loyalty, and showing up every single day. She paused. Apollo didn't just work for me, he worked with me. We were a team, and together we survived. The whole store was crying. Today, Mom volunteers at a service dog training program. She mentors newly blind adults, helps them understand what's possible. Apollo sleeps at her feet while she works. People ask me all the time, did that really happen? Did a dog really have a job? Yes, he did. Because sometimes the most loyal being in your life isn't a person. Sometimes it's a German Shepherd who refuses to let you give up. This is Apollo's story. This is my mother's story. This is a story about dignity, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between a woman and her dog. If this story touched you, never underestimate what love can do. Never underestimate what loyalty looks like. Thank you for listening.